Ask yourself, if someone saw you on set of a film, would they assume you were the star or just an extra? People's pre-existing perspectives are powerful tools in controlling the way you are perceived. For example, most people will automatically assume that a muscular and stylish man is confident and great with women, leading to him being treated in a way that makes him actually feel confident and in turn great with women. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy of sorts, and it all starts with projecting the sort of person you want to be viewed and treated as through your appearance. But there are many, many different ways to be stylish, and even a wide variety of aspirational physiques. Depending on your desired archetype, your build, style, and demeanour will interact uniquely with each other to represent character and shape perception. Though many archetypes exist, and we've even crafted several of our own, the greater range of archetypes will be discussed in future content. For now, we will focus on 4 of the most common male archetypes, discussing how to shape them in detail. These archetypes are the hero, the artist, the warrior, and the intellectual. The hero is somebody who can be trusted and who uses their power for the good of all around them. In terms of the hero's build, their broad shoulders, narrow waist, and substantial arms characterize the hero's physique as someone who will be inevitably viewed as a viable protector, someone who has shaped themselves into a formidable protector of others. For a build like this, maximizing your strengths on compound movements while adding accessory movements for the shoulders, chest, and arms while eating in a slight calorie surplus is optimal. The hero's physique is so illustrious that he is often compared to Hollywood actors. When it comes to style, the hero doesn't seek to draw all of the attention all of the time, but he does make the best of himself. His wardrobe is simple but very well put together. Instead of heavy textures and ornate designs, his solid color, classic, casual outerwear reflect his reliable and well-measured mind. And when it comes to demeanour, the hero hates nothing but hate itself, with a gentle and respectful attitude towards most people, limitless love and affection for the innocent, and yet a dark heart toward the guilty. He carries out his work with great competence and a genuine attitude of positivity, whereby anyone who he works for or who works for him comes out better because of their shared experience. The artist is a visionary of design who shares their moving works and thoughts with the world. With an artist's build, given their creative imperative, they often see the great beauty and significance even in places that others don't. As a result, the artist shapes their body like a sculpture, harnessing the illustrious V-taper while carrying enough muscle mass to create dimension and shape in their silhouette, but not so much muscle that their elegant outfits are overshadowed by immense mass. To create such a physique, strengths in compound movement should be an area of concern, but not the primary one. Instead, if this is the archetype you seek, most of your efforts should be applied to creating maximal tension on each muscle group according to the end result that you envision. If you think a lot of trap and forearm development would enhance your sculpture, don't hesitate to give those muscle groups additional volume. The artist's physique is so aesthetically brilliant that on occasion, he is offered modeling contracts by those who don't realize his true focus is on something far more intricate than his appearance. When it comes to an artist's style, their creativity is not lost. They pay attention to every aspect of their attire, from fit to color to texture to drape to accoutrements and accessories. They represent who they are with symbolism and flair. Their mystery may be hinted at with their dark and concealing coats, or their spontaneity expressed with intermingling color and loose fit. Ultimately, no one can tell them who they are or how to represent it. But in general, they need more to tell the world just how layered and generative their mind is. More layers, more accessories, and more distinctive features. The artist's demeanour can be difficult to pinpoint because they see the value in almost everything. Hate, love, care, indifference, innocence, and guilt are all colours of the human experience worth painting with in their eyes. They initially explore all ideas with open-mindedness, but fall in love with conclusions that they feel the world needs to hear about. Ultimately, the great artist does have core values that they represent and advocate for, no matter what happens to be on their paintbrush that day. The warrior is a dangerous force who takes life by the reins and stops at nothing. The largest and most imposing build of the four, the warrior looks like a battering ram of a man. While some may argue that a true warrior is relatively lean and agile, here we are talking about perception. And to most people, a larger build speaks more to a warrior's capabilities than an athletic one. Someone like Israel Adesanya could no doubt dismantle someone like Chris Bumstead in a street fight, but if you saw two strangers, one with each of their physiques, you would view the bulky, powerful body as a greater threat. As such, for the warrior build, you're best off training like a fully fledged bodybuilder, with high intensity, frequency, and volume in your training, and a focus on muscle contraction rather than amassing a high powerlifting total. That being said, from all the protein you're eating and the sheer amount of training you perform, it's likely you'll have a respectable bench press, almost by accident. Stylistically, in quite an opposite fashion to the artist, the warrior's style encapsulates a less is more approach, with their primary style goal being either to showcase their incredible physique when they are away from work, or to functionally represent their dedication to conquering work when it's time to make cold hard cash. If he's a professional, his suit is immaculate. He isn't worried about being unique or different. He's just worried about being the best. If he's a business owner, his crisp white Oxford is rolled at the sleeves to let his composition and customers know that he's a disciplined man of action and deserves to be respected. After all, he wouldn't have forearms like that without an immense amount of discipline. The warrior's demeanour is not cruel or devious. He has simply identified what he wants and accepted that he is prepared to earn it. He treats people with respect and care, but doesn't have time to give them much more than that. Unless you're a family member or close friend of his, he will make sure you're alright, take care of whatever business he has with you, and move on to his next quest for the day. The warrior is focused on conquest, not on comfort. The intellectual is a deep thinker who solves problems and discovers truth. The leanest and most athletic build of the four, the intellectual supplements his powerful mind with an agile, trim, and yet muscular physique. He is no armchair expert, as a true intellectual understands the benefits of exercise on cognition. Synergistically, his physical fitness feeds his energy, allowing him to execute this mental fortitude and philosophy into action. The intellectual trains in a balanced way as he understands the benefits of all training, not just for his physique, but for his health. He lifts heavy weights once a week, light weights twice a week, and frequently performs active cardiovascular exercises like boxing and running, while eating a balanced diet, maintaining a body that would have some mistake him for a professional soccer player. The intellectual's style is strategic. He dresses knowing full well that what he wears will affect the way he is perceived. For that reason, his style is highly adaptable depending on where he is going. In the professional environment, he will look sharp and polished, finding a way to look distinguished without being obnoxious. In the gym, his tech fabrics keep him fresh as he takes care of form and function simultaneously. For the intellectual, all decisions are about optimization. The intellectual's demeanour is again very well thought through. Operating with thoughtfulness and curiosity, the intellectual can have a conversation with anyone about anything and make it a worthwhile experience. Excelling in his field is a natural feature of his life, and as such, he is always seeking new knowledge about the world and his place in it. This makes him intriguing and valuable company. There are only two factors to consider when identifying the sort of archetype you should aspire to reflect. The first factor is your current set of strengths. If you've always been creative, why not lean into that and represent an artistic archetype? If you've always been physically strong and goal-oriented, the warrior type is something that might come naturally to you if you consciously engage with it. You might as well, because deliberately leaning into your natural archetype increases the likelihood that you will be acknowledged for your values, endeavors, and skill sets. The second factor to consider is who you would become if you were God creating yourself and had limitless power. Even if the traits of your dream identity don't come naturally to you, or you'll have to work extremely hard just to get a fraction closer, the payoff in form of personal satisfaction is enormous when you become more like your ideal vision of yourself. Perhaps you've always wanted to be gentle and calm, despite an aggressive nature. Perhaps you wanted to be athletic, despite sedentary habits throughout your childhood. While you may never be Mother Teresa or Michael Jordan, being a little more of who you aspire to be, rather than attaching your identity only to your nature and history, is a truly empowering decision that hands you the masculine imperative of responsibility. Ultimately, every man should endeavor to discover his own unique identity, representing an indispensable individual who is a joy to experience while he is on Earth and a pain to miss when he is past. There are two primary means of discovering your one-of-one archetype, one so distinguished that will inevitably be imitated. The first, and more common, is to refine your connection to the archetype that works best for you after trying out a few options. Then, rather than adhering neatly to what is already formed, you can put your own personal touch onto that archetype, perhaps combining hero, artist, warrior, and intellectual in unique ways yet to be seen. The latter is to abandon the concept of borrowing a style identity altogether, sacrificing the comfort of adopting what has been done, and having faith in one's own eye and own heart to treat himself as tastemaker, trendsetter, and creator. The original identity is difficult to put your finger on because it is so distinctive from anything that has been defined. Usually, naming this energy and spirit is left to the fans and admirers, who will in turn attempt to imitate and form a new archetype all in itself. Don't just be another guy. Be an event. Good day.